Hello, Search here from the backyard driving range. We have a question that came in, and it comes from Henry, and he says, Johnny Miller says the average golfer comes out of the golf swing way too early with the left hip and stomach. He says one should stay low with the left hip and stomach until the club is through the hitting area. My tape says I should swing up as my swing thought and to pop up ASAP like a piece of toast flying out of a toaster. Are these two different swings? Again, submitted by Henry. Absolutely, they're two different swings, Henry. And it's great to see that if you said your video says you're being told to swing up and to pop up ASAP, or as I call it, Pop Tart, you definitely have peak performance golf swing videos that I've shot, and many of them with DJ, and we all swing that way. Now let's discuss what Johnny said. He was in a way correct about what he's talking about there, because what tends to happen in the rotational swing, which is what just about almost everybody is being taught today, and is probably at least 95% plus of all the people on the PGA Tour uses, but not the Senior Tour. If you want to see some vertical golf swings, go watch the Senior Tour, the Champions Tour. Those guys are still playing with 95% of those guys are still vertical, because that's the way they were taught, and they never left. All right. And I think one of the answers you can see that they are staying that way is that all these teachers you hear about and see about on the PGA Tour are not out there on the Champions Tour. Why? Because those guys don't want to hear that message. They grew up playing the peak performance swing, or I should say the vertical swing, which is a version of the peak performance. They don't have all the things we got, but they're at least many of them are high hands in the backswing and finish relatively in the tee and finish relatively square to their target. They're not turning way out and to get their chest aiming out to left field when they're trying to hit the ball, so to speak, to center field. So yes, he's talking about the rotational golf swing of these guys, where from the top, when they got the big turn to begin with, and then they just snap their left hips and they basically straighten their left leg, because they're trying to keep their left foot, their forward foot, and their forward legs flat to straighten it out. And when they straighten it out, what does that do? If I'm in this position in my backswing and then I do this, that lifts me up, and that's turning me out of the shot. And so it's pretty hard to not do that. In fact, it's almost close to possible to not doing it. To not do that when you turn hard and your forward leg straightens up. So how do you really get rid of it? So what they do in many cases is they talk about trying to, they can't slow down. So what they do is they try to go downward a little bit like this and stay on top of the ball, and then come through what they call now covering the ball with your back shoulder. But you're defying your body right there. If you have a flexing in your both knees, and then you straighten any one knee up, just like turning more than about 70 degrees is going to start straightening your back leg, that means your backside's going up. And if your backside goes up, there's a tendency your front side's going to go down, and if you call that the action, the reaction will be that. But certainly, anytime you're up here with a big turn and you're going to take your hip and you're going to try to turn it and turn your hip and your body as fast as you can to pull your arms through, as soon as you start turning, what's happening? Right there. And as we know, people have concentrated very, very intensely on what? Boom, and you see this a lot on the ladies' tour. They come in here and they just lock in their legs right up, and we know about the number one leg that's locked up for years and years, and then all the problems he had, Tiger Woods. You can't lock the leg up. The knees are flex joint. It's designed to be in dynamic motion flexed, not locking up. It's hyperextended. It just doesn't. It's not designed to do that. Just try to lock your legs up and try to walk with your legs straight. I mean, you won't be able to walk 10 or 20 feet, and your hips and your back are going to start hurting. All right. So the key is what we're doing is we're maintaining our knee angle. That's one of the most important things, right? We set up. We keep the wide knees out with pressure. We resist this knee moving, so that cuts down our turn till we turn only to the back, the forward arm over the toe line, and then from there we do our lateral shift and we swing through and we stand up, and the leg straightens a little bit, but because we roll over to the outside of the leg, our legs staying flexed, and we finish at the target. So we have that bump, that lateral left shift of a flexed left knee and hip is the way we describe it in all the manuals and on the videos. So when we stand up in here, we're making that limited turn, as I said. We're coming in. Impact, the weight's rolling over, the knees staying flexed. Now naturally I can bump too much and I'll be past the ball and I'll be in trouble. The bump's only going to have my belt buckle moving no more than about an inch or so. So when you do that, it transitions, it pulls the arms down, and then we swing up to the tee finish. Boom. Recoil, relax at the target. That's why I always say, you want to stand up like a Pop-Tart out of a toaster. Okay, so I hope you got the difference here on these two things that's talking about. Johnny's talking about people with the rotational swing, which is about all you see. We're talking about the peak performance vertical swing, vertical backswing to a vertical finish. So to do that, we're swinging up. We're not taking big divots. We're trying to nip the ball off the ground. And in standing up, we're going to be able to hit the ball more solid, straight, higher, and longer, and shoot those lower scores. So yes, we want to be Pop-Tart and get level. When you're level and you finish level, you have to level off the shoulders and the eyes. Your body is more erect, standing up straight, no big curvatures or whatever, or hanging under like this. Your body's straight up, reduces tension, stress, and strain, and you're in better dynamic balance, which is the only way you ever can hit the ball more solid, straight, consistently, and shoot those lower scores. Well, that's it for the Surge for today. I'm Pop-Tarting, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.